So a fast recap what we did yesterday. uh, we were continued on modeling the lightsaber. We added some bevels to the edges here, and when we entered the bevels, after that we were able to then smooth it so that it actually smoothens the geometry. So adds its subdivision by smoothing. So this is like actual smoothing, not just the smooth view. Then we added a blade on this, and then we added materials to all of this. So right clicking and assign new material. And then we gave any of this basic material, for example, the one named Blin is okay. The only thing we wanted to do with those is to name these as different parts, different materials. It's easier here, and we don't need to mask them in Substance, because when we put this in Substance, it will be one mesh or one object without any different shaders. And so that's what we did for these. Then I'll select all of these guys, all of the 3D objects here, and then export it. I could export everything, but I might have some stuff that I don't want in the export. So that's why I just select all of these parts here. And then I export them, the selection, as FBX. And this would be Saber high poly, which we are going to use as a low poly. So we are only going to use that one. Let's what day is it? Wednesday. Okay, then we need to tick one thing from the settings here, or if we already did it before with the presets, it should be already clicked. But we want to open the file type specific options, include geometry. This normally you can already see it. And we need to have these smoothing groups ticked. That's how we get the groups that we had here to come to Substance. And now we export it. And it shouldn't take more than a second to export it. So that's done. So this is now exported as an FBX. It's a file format with a bit more information than OBJ. Then I'll go to Substance Painter, and then open a new project from File, New. I'll now select the preset or the template to be Unity 5, because then we can use this more easily without much problems in Unity. Everything is here fine, but then we need to decide which model we are gonna open. So it's always we always open a model as a project. Normally this is the low poly, but now we only have the high poly or mid poly because it doesn't have much. So file, select, and then I'll select this. If you don't have the Saber, you can open any OBJ or FBX you have there. And then click on open. And then after that, OK. And I don't want to save the project I had here previously. Okay, then it opened the file here. I need to zoom in. Zoom in a bit. Strafe to the right to see the actual model. And I'm gonna do everything in 3D view. So I'll just click on 3D only from here. Okay, so because I named my materials, I can see them now in the texture set list. I didn't rename these, so they are really goofy, which is stupid of me to not rename the materials. But I can see them in the texture set list. I'll click on solo so I can see which is which. So that's this and this. All of the parts are now as different texture sets. And now I can start adding materials on these, and I need to create all of my materials myself. That's the whole point. But now I'm just gonna tap these so that I have them here. Maybe like this, and okay, so now all of these have a material assigned. But please create your own materials so that you learn how to use the program, not just push this. Okay, but those we have already checked on other videos. The only special thing that we're going to do now here is how to have the blade emit light. And that's a bit tricky because we just need to tick so many boxes around, but I'll show you how it's done. So first of all, we need emission, or so that we have so that our materials can glow. So we need to have that channel opened or added. And that can be found from texture set settings. This is the same place where we are baking our maps. And actually we could bake the maps first before going to the last one. So let's go to texture set settings and click on bake mesh maps. And let's see this also. So everything is ticked. We get all these mesh maps here. We'll click on use low poly mesh as high poly mesh because we only have one. Then next I'll select the anti-aliasing to be 4x4, and then I'll click on Bake All Texture Sets, and it takes a few minutes.